Catch us on www.keithngessiradio.com. That's where you can follow and not miss a second of what you love to hear. Remembering also, download the app. Get the app on Google Play Store, and you can never, ever regret having that on the phone or your handheld device, your tablet, wherever you are, we are with you.
We are extraterrestrial. We are KNR.
The owners of the Kyalami circuit have moved to quash rumors that the lack of government support was behind the failed bid for South African Grand Prix return in 2023. Organizers are still hopeful of getting the circuit added in the 2024 calendar, with the F1 and the FIA said is to still be keen to see South African Grand Prix make a return. According to Motorsport SA's chairman Anton Roux, the failure of the bid was down to a lack of financial guarantees from local promoter. Roux laid the blame for failure at the feet of the SA Grand Prix Association led by Warren Schechter. The reason the F1 event is not taking place in 2023 is that the F1 appointed local promoter was unable to deliver on financial guarantees. The whole issue here is not the fault of the FIA, F1, or MSA or government side. It was purely because the local promoter could not deliver, and we now need to replace the local promoter. But I'm still very confident that we will be on the 2024 calendar. Roux insists that the work is going on to ensure that the South African Grand Prix makes its long-awaited return to the schedule of the Elite Moto Series. He believes that hosting the South African Grand Prix would be a huge boost for motorsport in general in the country. We need to create more sporting heroes for our children to follow, and I think that will be a big benefit to the South African to South Africa. It's 23 after 9 right now. MultiChoice's concerted effort to reduce password sharing on its DSTV streaming platform has been a major success, according to CEO Nico Shiburi. Password sharing has historically allowed people living in the same household to watch different content at the same streaming platform. However, it has also been commonly used to share the cost of a single account between multiple friends and family who don't live together, thus reducing the revenue that MultiChoice receives. This is piracy and hurts the whole industry. When we invest in content, we expect certain returns, and when people share passwords, we don't get our money back. According to My Broadband, in an effort to crack down on this practice earlier this year, DSTV restricted the number of devices that can simultaneously stream from a single account. Previously, subscribers could live stream channels to 2 devices. Shiburi said that although that change was met with an uproar, it has been a great business decision. After we limited the number of streams, we have seen an uptick in the take-up of DSTV of some of those people who were given passwords came on board. Interesting. And also, I guess when people are sharing passwords, that is it's a debate that says, should we not? I mean, if you're not living, for instance, if you're not living with somebody, but you pay the subscription and you use the password for your device, but you are not staying where the primary account is, then what did they say about that? Or is this a blanket decision? I don't know, but it would be met with uproar, as you can see. It's been a tough few weeks for South Africans as they battle the worst round of load shedding in years. The incessant power cuts have moved government's plans for independent power producers into high gear, with the first 3 contracts signed last week. This sets the wheels in motion for more power to be added on the national grid and the next 2 years. But one expert has argued that the introduction of IPPs is not the silver bullet to the Eskom crisis. Wasanga Mehana spoke to Dr. Ibrahim Harvey, who in the recent column wrote that South Africans are going to suffer the most due to the affordability of electricity. Working class people are struggling to put food on the table and cannot afford options in the renewable sector. What the media didn't do was adequately explore the consequences for people who cannot afford to go the route of the IPPs. It will only benefit well-to-do and middle-class people. It is the working class, the majority of the people, that will be affected. When they don't have basic needs like water, sanitation, and electricity, it drives down further the low standard of living. Eskom's prospects affect class and race configuration in the economy. According to Harvey, there is a misconception that there has been a rise in the middle class in South Africa. In fact, he said the black middle class has dwindled since the COVID-19 pandemic. Eskom has announced that Stage 3 rolling blackouts will continue until Thursday, the 29th, due to planned maintenance, unit breaking, and difficulty getting diesel power to power open gas turbines. The 75th day of power cuts so far this year, Eskom announced the Stage 3 rolling blackouts would continue until the 29th. Despite its standard excuses of planned maintenance being without some units and other units unavailable due to breakdowns, Eskom said it was struggling to get diesel from a supplier. This means that it can't operate 2 of the open cycle gas turbines, which means another 2,000 megawatts of power off the grid. Segomoko Skeppers, the group executive for transmission at Eskom, said it was at the signing ceremony on Thursday, 3 renewable energy projects three renewable energy projects that then available 21,000 that make available 21,000 megawatts was a painfully high number. If half of that was available, we would not be here. That is something to think about, definitely, for sure. In politics, ANC presidential hopeful Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma said it is high time her party was led by a woman, and this would translate into broader freedom for women. For women to be free, they must be free in all areas of human endeavor. There should be no glass ceiling that is hindering them. Women are also in the majority. Everything must reflect that. I think it's high time. It is 110 years of the ANC that women must also be at the helm of the ANC. We must take gender equality seriously. That is probably why we are not winning as a nation, she said. NDZ is, as she's fondly called in the ANC circles, used the SABC interview to tackle a variety of issues, including generational mix, the role of women, the horse trading for positions, possibly for coalitions, divisions within the party, and why she chose to avail herself. Still going to the controversial, the Democratic Alliance has called on the acting public protector, Koleka Gcalega, to investigate the appointment of suspended Tembisa Hospital CEO Ashley Mthunzi. Mthunzi was appointed in his position last year. At the time, the Gauteng department said it had conducted a background check on Mthunzi and found no reason to disqualify him from being appointed to the position. However, it's since emerged that Mthunzi was undergoing a disciplinary hearing in his role at Polosong Hospital, and this was not disclosed during his recruitment. Mthunzi was suspended by Tembisa Hospital after revelations that the hospital had spent R500,000 on what was referred to as skinny jeans. Parliamentary questions by the DA and in the Gauteng legislature to the provincial head of department in response to the questions by Jack Bloom, MEC Nomathemba Mokgethi confirmed that the former acting deputy director Freddie Khongwana lied about Mthunzi's disciplinary hearing at Polosong Hospital. This paved the way for Mthunzi to be appointed CEO in breach of government's recruitment and selection policy. It's exactly 9:30 right now, and you are listening to Moment of Truth, tuned in to Keith Ngesi Radio. Before you get to thinking something untowards, take your mind out of the gutter and listen to this. It's about a mom's unconditional love for her son and how far she'd go to prove it. Nancy Hawk from Utah in the United States volunteered to carry her son Jeff's 5th baby after his wife Cambria was unable to carry another pregnancy. The couple, who have already have 2 sets of twins, were determined to have another baby, but because Cambria had to undergo a life-saving hysterectomy, the chances of her giving birth were 0. And that's when Hawk offered to be their surrogate. At the age of 56, doctors cautioned her to get a move on before the onset of menopause. Now, she says, I felt happy and grateful for such a selfless and loving mom that was willing to make that kind of sacrifice. Having experienced over 4 years of infertility treatments, I knew how complicated the process can be and doubted that this was possible for her to carry a baby for us, but I was very moved when she said she would. About her son and daughter-in-law's fertility issues, she said they've had a lot of struggles with infertility, but they've had 7 embryos to try the IVF and decided they wanted to use them all. So, while their choice of surrogate may be unconventional, this has all been a big leap of faith. It's a remarkable thing that she's doing, and they say that it is quite a rare thing to do. Oof, I can agree there. It's not every day you see a mother carrying a child for her children. That is one daughter-in-law and her son. So yeah, 28 minutes now before 10 a.m. and this is Moment of Truth. The Red Berets are in no celebratory mood on Heritage Day, saying it was yet another year where Black people are without land and remain on the outskirts of the economy and means of production. The economic freedom fighters said in a statement, Heritage, which speaks about the cultural fabric of society, was determined and crafted by those who control what was regarded as the worthy of remembering, observing. It is clear in South Africa that we have inherited a culture of being conquered, and we have made monuments to the genocidal racists who have stripped Africans of their dignity and land. As part of our culture, we have cemented an anthem of racists in our national anthem, and have allowed the names of those who plundered this country and colonized this continent to occupy places of significance, such as street names and statues, said the party. The EFF critically said that the day was feeble attempt at unifying cultures and heritages, which are fundamentally at odds with each other and having contradicted history, without changing the socio-economic conditions of these contesting the cultures. Finally, on Twitter, Faith Star, who is now married and a mom to baby girl Sky, claimed that a former gardener had broken into her property before fleeing. Faith Gates posted, "I have land and a house next door to the house I bought for my mom. The gardener and his wife and baby stayed there over a year. We fed them, clothed them, and my mom even babysat their baby and still paid them a salary. Today, they broke into my mom's home and robbed her and went back to Malawi. Luckily, we have cameras in the house, but we can't do anything with the footage because they are gone. My mom treated them like her own and trusted them. My mom is so heartbroken. They celebrated everything with us as part of a family. The only thing now my mom has said about the situation is that she feels that she's supposed to be alone forever. She's so shattered because she loved them so much." But whilst Faith Nkesi was hoping to share the experience of being duped, she instead incited comments of xenophobia amongst her followers. One of them said, "It serves you right, you hiring illegal immigrants at the expense of unemployment." The other one says, "These stories make me happy. We keep on warning people about hiring foreigners, and they didn't listen, and foreigners keep on proving us right." This is coming from Uzipo Kumalo 3. Seemingly having enough of the xenophobic comments, one follower tweeted, "They did not steal because they are foreigners. They did it because they are thugs. Crime has no nationality." Very true. Very, very true. Whilst Tweeps praised Burna Boy's mother, Bose Ogulu, for being the biggest cheerleader at his South African show on Saturday night, they did not share the same opinion when it came to Royal AM chairperson and his mother, Sean Mamkhize. Andile Mpisane took to the field unexpectedly in a match against Kaizer Chiefs on Sunday at the Free State Stadium. The chairman of the club took a role of captain as he was seen on camera running across the field. But as anticipated by soccer fans, he didn't make much of an impact. Instead, he was seen on camera running across the field as he desperately tried to make contact with the ball. Nevertheless, Royal AM won the match 4-2 against Kaizer Chiefs. Sharing pics and clips on Instagram, Andile Mpisane's wife beamed with pride over his match stint. "My chairman," she captions the clips. Tamia Mpisane is the co-chairperson of Royal AM's female side. But whilst Tamia Mpisane and no doubt Mamkiza were cheerleading from the sidelines, Tweeps were having a field day mocking Andile. From his overweight form to his inability to kick the ball and relying on Mum's money to get a match, Tweeps did not hold back. Oof, and they were brutal. Andile was one says, Opura says Andile Mpisane took the captain's armband after playing 5 minutes and not touching the ball. Another one said the overweight Andile Mpisane has just been given some playing seconds against Kaizer Chiefs. Money can buy you many things. Now, another one says, somebody please give Andile Mpisane the ball. And another says Andile Mpisane can become a doctor tomorrow if he wants. Oh, my goodness. And on that note, it comes to the end of our moments in current affairs. More to come as we celebrate wrapping up our Heritage Month, but also doing what we do best and doing it with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's see what all the...
From the states of Africa, we've got you covered.